Hi and welcome to my evaluation from group 13D1, Female the Species. I'll just start off with the first question. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? So what I was thinking, our video, as you can tell, it's named Female the Species, so focuses quite highly on female and the view of female and the stereotypical view of females both in the media and society. Within media, I recently watched a festive film, The Holiday, and the character Iris is quite in need of a man, and she's quite like the man's in control of pretty much everything. So it conveys the idea that females are quite lower in society compared to men, whereas men are much more in control of the situation. In Iris in the movie, the man comes up to her and starts saying, "Oh, I love you, I'm sorry I hurt you," and she decides to actually stand up for herself and say, "No, I can't have this." And that's what we tried to subvert, the whole stereotypical view of a female in society and both media, and show that in our video, kind of reflecting the lyrics, the female of the species is more deadlier than the male, so she's seen as a beast, an animal, like a species, and she's not exactly a pleasant woman. Convention of women, and not like, what I was thinking was, in most relationships nowadays, in both the media, movies, and music videos, it's the men that wear the trousers in the relationships, whereas in most music videos, e.g. for example like Rihanna, Rude Boy, she talks about one lyric, "Tonight I'm gonna let you be the captain," suggesting that in most times she's actually in control. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to capture the idea of changing the stereotypical view of a female and showing how she can be in power. Okay, question number 2. How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary texts? Okay, so I was thinking, I'm going to start that one again. You can come down, by the way, because we can just cut it. Question 2. How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary texts? So I was thinking the digipack. The digipack, on the front of our cover, we have a female looking at screen, quite hypnotized at this screen, which we have an eye on. What I was thinking, most male bands nowadays are seen as quite hypnotizing, memorizing. An example of this is, for instance, just a solo person, Justin Bieber, or the Jonas Brothers, who they managed to literally mesmerize young females around the world and have them in awe and amazement and looking up to these guys who are their idols and everything they want. And we thought the Digipack reflects this as a male group, 3 band, kind of like the Jonas Brothers as well. And what we think is we want really a lot of female fans kind of thing. And we want them to believe that, we think that our band is quite good looking. And we thought that it would be nice if we had a lot of adoring female fans. So we thought, why not? It would be nice to reflect our band in that way and show what stereotypically male bands, boy bands are today. And we saw our band as quite mesmerizing, and females admire boy bands from nowadays and like back then, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, a ton of them. And predominantly in the charts, we wanted to see our band as someone who predominantly has their singles and albums in the charts. So we want to reflect how hypnotizing, memorizing they are to an audience as a whole, not just females, but as, you know, males, and have young males looking up to them as well. What we thought was the website. We wanted an interactive website. We know nowadays that most bands, artists, pretty much even like actors, they have many like Twitter, Facebook, stuff like that, and we wanted to show that our band isn't just like another one of those on the side kind of things, and we wanted to show kind of what most bands would do nowadays in this kind of environment. And most bands want to get in touch with their fans and show that they have a real connection with them and want to like please what they want kind of thing. So what we thought is we'd have an interactive website, and that's what we've managed to do. An interactive website where you can even enter a competition in which you can meet our band. So it's monthly, and we have winners on there and everything. And we've managed to create this kind of like place where you can go and get to know the band, and more information obviously updated. You have the tour on there, pictures, information about each person. And the way we've written it, because our band's called The Motion, and our album is emotion. So we've kind of linked that together, and we've got that at the top and all the pictures of the band and everything. We've got the surnames, because obviously we have 2 Georges in our band, so Ellis, Cox, and so on. The choice of black and white for our website, I think it just shows how straightforward as a band the Motion are, and how they don't really hide from their fans. They let them know who the real who they are inside, kind of thing. We wanted to portray that within the website and show how they're not a complicated band, and they're easy to get to know just like any other band, and they're easy to idolize just like any other band. They're not hard to access or anything. I'll move on to question 3. What have you learned from your audience feedback? What have you learned from your audience feedback? Is another question 3. So what we thought is, when we did the peer assessment, we had 40 seconds roughly, and we showed it. We went around the class viewing them, and what I thought was, it was a good chance to see other people's videos, and to also see what other people thought about our video. When we looked at it, our feedback, we realised that a lot of people thought that lighting in the first few shots might have been a bit too bright. But the thing is, we didn't actually have time to go and reshoot it, so we had to actually use that. But it was kind of like a note down for further, later on when we plan to film again. And that, what people mostly said was, because it was only 40 seconds, obviously, they didn't get time to exactly establish who the main role was. So it's quite hard for them to understand who the character and who they were actually sympathising, as if you could say, with, and who they were actually watching in their life. And so we thought this is obviously due to the fact that there was only 40 seconds and you couldn't really feel anything for the character that we're trying to portray, which is obviously Tom, our main singer. So that was pretty much fixed. One issue I think we seem to come up from mostly just feedback from other people we got to watch our videos. It's a lot of performance, isn't it? And we're a bit like, yeah, maybe it is. But the thing is, we'd filmed all our shots previously, we edited, and it came to a certain extent where we didn't actually have time to go back and reshoot. So what we did was we just had to pretty much deal with it. And it was due to the fact that we didn't manage to film enough, and I think the shots from the previous filming didn't manage to transport well into our into the iMovie, because we uploaded it into one iMovie, and we tried to transfer it into the second. It was quite difficult, so that was quite hard. So then we couldn't actually please what our audience wanted. But then again, there's mistakes we make, and we can actually use the shots from the previous shooting. But we managed to fill it with narrative and a bit of narrative, what we had, and performance. But then again, it's just another thing we have to learn for the future. Question 4, interrupted 3 times now. How do you use media technologies in the construction and research planning and evaluation stages? What I was saying was, before I got interrupted 3 times, the new iMovie proved just a bit too complicated for me and Marwa, and seeing as we were going to do the editing, we wanted to choose the best option for us, which we were familiar with and we could produce the best product with. And we chose the old iMovie due to the fact that we're familiar and we knew that we would be able to make a better product using the old iMovie rather than the new iMovie. Another thing, research. Now, the internet is probably one of the best tools we have as a generation now, and back then no one really had the internet. So I think the internet played a huge role in our producing of our music video, production of the music video, because we could, look up other videos, look at other artists, see how they've managed to produce their kind of thing, and so we thought that if we looked at other videos, we could see, so YouTube provided a really great media technology. We could look up loads of videos. We had access to millions and millions of other music videos and other artists and other work that they've produced. The other thing that we thought was really cool, the evaluation, what we're doing now, is going to be uploaded to a separate website. And what we've done is we've made it look exactly like the band website, but what we've done is we've had it so that we've had everybody's name, as you can see at the bottom here, somewhere. My name should be there. And why are you laughing? So, website, we thought it'd be really interesting to present our evaluation on the website. It's different to what other people would probably do. They're probably going to upload it, maybe do a podcast, nothing special, but we thought we'd upload it into a website, create it a bit more interesting for us, for our, viewers. I don't know, but I'll see later. Photoshop, Digipack. Digipack, who George created successfully, was he had a few troubles, just like anybody, but I'm not that well educated in how he found that. But I know that Photoshop's quite a difficult tool to use if you're not familiar with it, but it seems that he seemed to get on quite well because we have a pretty cool Digipack. And last but not least, inspiration from internet videos such as people like Rihanna, The Strokes, Pete Doherty, all of these other artists, which provided a great insight into what we could provide. Anyway, I'm done, I believe so. So thanks for listening to my evaluation.